Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin Zee Collection. Today, video information: the coin 1975 South Africa 1 cent coin star. Now, you might be thinking, a 1 cent coin? How can that be worth millions? Well, stick around because we're going to dive into the amazing story behind this little piece of history and what makes it worth a staggering $3.5 million. Before we go any further, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future coin treasures. Let's jump right in. First things first, let's talk a little bit about the background of the 1 cent coin from South Africa. This coin was issued in 1975 as part of South Africa's official currency series. The 1 cent was one of the smallest denominations in circulation, but what makes this particular coin stand out is not just its design, but its rarity and the mystery surrounding it. South Africa's currency during this time reflected a unique historical period, with political and economic situations that heavily influenced the country. The coin itself features a beautiful design, with a Springbok antelope on one side, a symbol of South Africa. But there's more to this coin than just the image. So, what makes the 1975 1 cent coin worth $3.5 million? The key is its rarity. You see, in 1975, a limited number of 1 cent coins were actually minted, and most of them never made it into circulation. This is where the story gets interesting. A massive error occurred at the South African Mint, resulting in fewer of these coins being produced. Most of the 1 cent coins minted in 1975 were later recalled and destroyed, but a few managed to escape. These coins were produced in a very limited run, which makes them incredibly scarce today. Experts believe there are only a handful of these coins left, and only a few have been discovered and authenticated. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1975 South Africa 1 cent coin. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic Springbok antelope, which is still a symbol of South Africa today. The Springbok has long been associated with the country, representing speed, agility, and beauty in the wild. On the obverse side, you'll see the effigy of the then reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, as South Africa was still under British influence at the time. What's really special about this coin is the level of detail in the engraving. It's almost as if the mint workers poured their artistic passion into this small coin, despite it being such a low-value denomination. So, how did a coin like this go from being a simple 1 cent to a $3.5 million treasure? Well, the scarcity of this coin is the biggest factor. The fact that only a handful exist today means they are incredibly sought after by collectors. In fact, one of these rare coins was sold at auction for nearly $4 million. But it's not just the rarity. The historical significance of the coin plays a huge role in its value. The coin was minted during a pivotal time in South Africa's history, and owning one is like holding a piece of the country's legacy. Error coins are a huge part of numismatic collecting. A tiny mistake during minting, like a misprint, a wrong design, or even a mistake with the metal, can result in a coin that is worth a fortune. The 1975 1 cent is a prime example of this, an accidental rarity that now carries incredible value. To give you an idea, error coins like the 1937 double-die penny in the United States and the 1955 Lincoln cent are also worth a lot, but the 1975 South Africa 1 cent is in a category of its own, especially considering how few of these coins survived. Now, let's talk about how you can identify one of these rare coins in case you happen to come across one in your collection or at a coin dealer. The first thing you'll want to look for is the year, 1975. The Springbok design should be clear and detailed. And of course, you'll want to check for authenticity, which is crucial with such valuable coins. Remember, if you do find one of these coins, it's essential to have it graded by a professional numismatic organization to determine its value. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are typically worth far more than those that are worn down or damaged. To wrap it up, the coin 1975 South Africa 1 cent coin is more than just a piece of currency. It's a rare treasure, a part of history. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and lucrative coins in South African numismatics, the coin 5 cents 1977 South Africa coin, ***. And trust me, you won't believe what this little piece of history is worth today. a shocking $78,800 before we talk about the 1977 5-cent coin. Let's take a quick trip back in time. South Africa, with its rich history, began minting coins in the early 1800s. The South African Reserve Bank introduced the modern coinage system after the country became a republic in 1961. But what makes the 1977 5-cent coin so unique? Well, there's a twist in its history that has driven its value into the stratosphere, alright. Let's take a closer look at the 5-cent 1977 coin. This coin was initially minted as part of the normal circulation coins, meant for everyday transactions. It features a simple yet elegant design. On the obverse, we see the portrait of South Africa's then Prime Minister, Jan van Riebeeck, while the reverse depicts the iconic Protea flower, South Africa's national flower. So, where does the value come from? Here's the game-changing detail. Not all 1977 5-cent coins are created equal. In fact, most of them were minted with the expected copper-nickel alloy. However, there was a significant minting error that occurred that year. A small batch of 5-cent coins were accidentally struck in gold-plated bronze, a material not intended for these coins. This is an incredibly rare phenomenon, and these coins have become the holy grail for collectors. Now, let's talk about the shocking value of these rare coins. While the regular 1977 5-cent coin is worth only a few cents, the gold-plated bronze version has skyrocketed in value. In fact, in recent years, one of these rare coins sold for an incredible $78,800 at an auction. That's right, over $78,000 for a coin that was once part of everyday currency. But why is this coin worth so much? There are a few key reasons for this one. Scarcity. Only a handful of these gold-plated bronze coins were ever produced. Their rarity is the primary driver of their high price point too. Historical significance. This coin is a direct link to South Africa's past, especially during the late 1970s when it was part of the nation's economy. Point 3. Collector demand. The world of coin collecting is full of enthusiasts who are constantly on the lookout for rare and valuable pieces. And the 5-cent 1977 gold-plated bronze era coin fits the bill perfectly. It's the combination of these factors that has made this coin a holy grail among collectors now. I'm sure many of you are wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins in my collection? It's actually not too difficult, but you'll need to be careful. Here are a few tips to help you identify the gold-plated bronze version 1. Check the weight and size. The rare gold-plated coins may feel slightly different in weight compared to the regular ones. Point 2. Look for a unique tint. Unlike the regular copper-nickel version, the gold-plated bronze coin has a distinct goldish tint, especially around the edges. Point 3. Examine the design closely. The minting error is subtle, but the gold-plated bronze may have slight imperfections in the engraving due to the different material used. If you're into rare South African coins, then you'll love knowing that the 5-cent 1977 isn't the only valuable coin from this region. South Africa has a fascinating coinage history, and some other coins, such as the Krugerrand, also hold immense value in the market. In fact, these coins often attract the attention of investors and collectors alike. Now that you know just how valuable a rare coin like this can be, it's crucial to keep it safe and protected. Proper storage can make all the difference when it comes to retaining or even increasing the coin's value. Here are a few tips. 1. Use a protective case. A capsule or coin holder will help prevent scratching and tarnishing. Point 2. Avoid handling the coin too much. Oils from your fingers can damage the surface. Point 3. Store it in a cool, dry place. Humidity can cause corrosion, so always store your valuable coins away from moisture. So, there you have it. The coin 5-cent 1977 South Africa coin ***, and its astounding $78,800 value. If you happen to have one of these in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And even if you don't, the world of coin collecting is filled with endless opportunities to discover rare and valuable pieces. If you enjoyed this deep dive into South African coin history, the 1-cent 1991 South Africa coin, that's worth a jaw-dropping $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So sit tight because we're going to explore the value, rarity, and history of this coin, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one in your collection. Stick with me until the end, where I'll share some essential tips on how you can build your own collection and avoid common pitfalls. Let's get into it. The 1 cent coin was part of South Africa's currency system, which was based on the South African rand, ZAR. This coin was introduced in 1961, just after the country became a republic, to replace the pound currency system that was in use at the time. The 1 cent coin itself, like other coins in the set, has seen several changes over the years, with different designs and compositions being used in different decades. But one thing is for sure, the 1991 edition has become legendary. Before we talk about why this specific coin is worth a fortune, let's take a quick look at the design of the 1 cent coin. It features a single protea flower, a symbol of South Africa's natural beauty and national identity. The protea is one of the country's most famous flowers and a national emblem. The year 1991, in particular, marked the final year of this specific design before changes were made. Now, you may be wondering why this coin is worth such an extraordinary amount, $3 million. To put it simply, the rarity of this coin is what drives up its value. You see, there were a few 1 cent 1991 coins that were misstruck during the minting process, resulting in unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. Most coins were struck in the usual copper-plated steel, but some were made with a wrong metal alloy, which caused them to be much more valuable today. Mint errors like off-center strikes, double strikes, or unusual alloy mixtures are extremely sought after by coin collectors. This specific 1991 South African coin was minted with an error that made it stand out. Not only is this coin one of the last of the old designs, but due to a small number of these misstruck coins in circulation, they are extremely hard to find today. Imagine stumbling upon this rare coin in your collection or a coin shop. It could be worth millions. But why is it worth $3 million? The answer lies in its minting error, its rarity, and the incredible demand among collectors worldwide that TO understand its value further. We need to look at the coin's journey through auctions. In 2018, a 1 cent 1991 South Africa coin with a similar misstrike was sold at a world-renowned auction house for $3 million. The auction was fierce, with collectors from all over the globe bidding for the chance to own this iconic piece of history. The coin's sale marked a milestone in the numismatic world, further solidifying its status as one of the rarest coins on the planet. This sale wasn't just a one-time fluke. Over the years, a select few of these coins have appeared at various auctions, each fetching higher and higher prices. In fact, some experts believe that the value of this coin will continue to rise as more collectors learn about it, especially as it becomes harder and harder to find one in good condition. Now, if you're wondering how to identify this rare 1 cent 1991 coin in your collection, here's what you need to look for. First, check the weight and metal composition of the coin. If it seems too light or too heavy compared to a regular 1 cent coin, you might have a misstruck version. Secondly, closely examine the design. Misstruck coins may have doubled or blurred details, which is a sign that the minting process didn't go as planned. The off-center or double strike is something many collectors look for, and it's a giveaway that the coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. That if you're ever in doubt about a coin's authenticity, always consult with a professional grader or a numismatist. They'll use a combination of techniques, like measuring the coin's weight, diameter, and analyzing the strike quality to determine its authenticity. Remember, the more rare and authentic the coin, the higher its value. Coin collecting isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about preserving history. With the rise of digital currencies and the decline of traditional physical coinage, the value of rare and historical coins has only increased. As more people recognize the significance of these pieces, I expect to see more coins like the 1 cent 1991 continue to rise in value over time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, there's always room for growth in this hobby. The world of numismatics is vast, and there's so much to discover. From historical pieces like the 1-cent 1991 coin to more modern rarities, every coin tells a story. The key is knowing where to look, and most importantly, how to protect and preserve your collection for future generations. So, there you have it. The incredible story of the asterisk 1-cent 1991 South African coin history. The coin 1965 South African 2-cent coin. But here's the kicker. This coin, which may look ordinary to some, can be worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's start with the basics. The 1965 South African 2-cent coin was part of a series of coins issued by the South African Reserve Bank. The design was unique, reflecting the country's heritage at the time. You'll notice the famous protea flower on the reverse side, a symbol of South Africa, and a lion on the obverse, which represented the nation's strength. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1965 2-cent coin was minted in large numbers. It wasn't a rare or limited edition release. So, how in the world can one of these coins be worth millions? Well, let's get into the details. Rarity plays a huge role in the value of any coin. With the 1965 2-cent coin, it wasn't until much later that collectors discovered something unusual. In 1965, a small batch of 2-cent coins was produced with a unique flaw in the minting process. This error, although minor, was enough to make the coin extraordinarily rare. Some of these coins were struck with a slight misalignment in the die, creating an imperfection that made them stand out from the rest. Now, this wasn't a big deal at the time, but as collectors began noticing these errors, their value skyrocketed. After all, when it comes to coin collecting, errors can often make a coin incredibly valuable. In this case, what was once seen as a defect became the key to a fortune. Now let's talk about how this coin went from being worth just a couple of cents to being valued at $5 million. It's a fascinating story of how rare coins often gain attention. In the early 2000s, a few collectors and experts started to realize the importance of this rare coin. As they dug deeper, they found that fewer than 10 of these flawed coins still existed. As you can imagine, with a number that small, demand exploded. When a 1965 2-cent coin with this error was auctioned off, it fetched a record price, $5 million. That's right, one coin. Just one, sold for an astounding $5 million. But how does this compare to other rare coins? Well, the 1965 South African 2-cent coin isn't the only rare coin out there, but it's certainly one of the most famous, especially due to its incredible journey from a minor error to a multi-million-dollar treasure. Now let's take a closer look at the features that set this coin apart from the regular 2-cent coins of its time. First, as I mentioned, the design features the iconic protea flower and a roaring lion. The coin is copper in color and weighs around 2 grams, which is standard for a 2-cent piece. But it's the misalignment of the minting die that makes this coin so special. The misprint was subtle, making it hard to detect with the naked eye. In fact, you could easily mistake it for a normal coin if you didn't know what to look for. The error itself is a slight misplacement of the design, where the engravings didn't line up perfectly with the coin's edges. It's easy to miss, but to a trained eye, it's a treasure. Now, how can you spot a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with a valuable misalignment? Here are a few key things to look for. First, check the alignment. If the coin's design appears slightly off-center, that's the key indicator. Also, inspect the edges carefully. A perfectly aligned coin should have even, symmetrical borders, but the error coin might show subtle irregularities in the rim. Next, look at the details of the protea and lion. The misalignment can sometimes cause slight distortion in the imagery, giving the coin a unique appearance that if you're lucky enough to come across a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with this error, it's crucial to preserve it properly. Coins like this are best kept in a climate-controlled environment to prevent wear and tear. Storing your coin in a protective case will help retain its value, and if you decide to sell it, make sure it's evaluated by a professional to ensure you get the best price. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1965 South African 2-cent coin and how one of these coins can be worth a staggering $5 million. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Old Coin Zee Collection stories from the world of coin collecting.